Alrighty guys, so we have a very interesting video for you guys today, and it's going to be kind of different from what I usually do, but it is going to be a video essentially going over the homie Ags. Now if you guys don't know who Revolver Ags is, he's a large YouTuber who's made some interesting, videos over a lot of mostly anime games, but he's recently started covering a lot of Tales of Tanorio content, as well as some pocket anime content as well, and he made a video essentially today talking about the truth about Tales of Tanorio, the unnecessary hate, which I find interesting. So we're going to do not really a reaction. This is mostly just going to be my response to it. I'm not going to play the full video, but there will be a link to the full video down in the description below if you guys want to watch it all the way through. But I do want to go over some of the points that he makes here because some of them are kind of wrong and then some of them are kind of right. So yeah, I'm just going to go ahead here, leave a like on the video. Going to scroll back up here to the top. We're going to make sure everything's good looking. And, let's just hop right on into the video.
Tales of Tanorio has been out for just over a week now. And I'm not going to lie to you, me personally, I'm enjoying what the game has to offer.
Same, to some degree, yes.
About Tales of Tanorio.
That is facts, that is facts.
That enjoys the game. Yeah, the game may not be 10 out of 10, but the game
it's definitely not. But yeah, it's definitely enjoyable
to a certain extent, and we
to a certain extent, yeah.
Play the game. And on the other side
that's
of the spectrum, there's a large amount of people that just hate the game. They genuinely dislike it.
Okay. I was gonna pause it here and talk a little about this, but I think he's about to bring it up anyway, so I'm just gonna keep letting it play. And let's see what we're cooking.
Opinion. Start this video off on a positive note. My honest opinion about Tales of Tanorio is that the game is good. It's a creature capture game, and it does exactly what it's meant to do: be a creature capture game. Just like in
and that's facts. That's facts. Okay, we're gonna pause it here. We're gonna pause here and talk. Tales of Tanorio is a creature capturing game, and this is for another video. I am gonna bring it up in another video because I have like a couple of community styled videos, and I talked about this I think in my last video, but a lot of people I saw thought it's just like, I saw a couple of people complaining that it's just a Pokemon clone. There's nothing unique about the game or whatever else. And at the end of the day, I think when you go into this game, you come in with the mindset, whether it be Lucky, Utopia, B, any of them who worked on this game. And Lucky even said this himself. The game is designed to just be a creature capturing game. It's not meant to do very much else, which also brings into a lot of the problems the game has because it doesn't have basic features and basic things that a creature capturing game should have, and some of the stuff that they're kind of ruining that a lot of other basic actual creature capturing games have that this game is doing kind of poorly. But we're going to bring that up a little bit later. But I do want to say that yes, this is straight up just a creature capturing game. You should not go into this thinking this is going to be some revolutionary game on Roblox or anything like that. It's a creature capturing game, and it does what it does decent, but it could be doing it well. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later, but for right now, let's just keep letting him cook. Let's just keep letting him cook.
Adventure within the game. Pretty standard stuff. You get some Tanorio cans. I'm just going to call them Pokeballs for this because I don't know how to pronounce it. You get some Pokeballs and you're able to catch creatures in the wild, make them a part of your party, and grow and train with them. On the surface level, this game does exactly what it needs to do in order to be a creature capture game, in my opinion. And
yes, it does. It does exactly what it needs to do to function as a creature capturing game. But the difference is what is going to make you play Tales of Tanorio over playing any other creature capturing game, especially on Roblox, kind of the fact now that this is technically the third major creature capturing game out, because you do still have Lumion Legacy, as much as I hate that game, and I have my reasons to hate that game. You still have Lumion Legacy, as well as you also have Doodle World. So what is the reason for you to play Tales of Tanorio, besides the fact that it's new, that differentiates itself from those two games? And I generally want to, see if he answers that question.
For a game that just released, it's come out with quite a bit of content. The first two stadiums or gyms. If you compare it to something like Lumion Legacy when it first came out, Lumion Legacy only had up to Route 3, not even the first gym. So,
and he's right. Lumion Legacy did launch. I don't know if it was exactly Route 3. I did play it at launch, obviously. I played Lumion Legacy like its entire life, even Brick Bronze. But yeah, Lumion Legacy launched with like no content whatsoever. However, I will say the content that they did have was extremely polished and was nowhere close to being as buggy. So you take what you want out of that, but yeah, I will say Lumion Legacy had a better launch, but a better launch with less content. You're gonna have to kind of pick your poison type thing. So
that's honestly pretty commendable. And if I had to give Tales of Tanorio a rating, I would probably give it about a 7 or 7.5 out of 10.
And I would agree. Now, when it launched, I would have gave it a solid 5, maybe even a 6 because of the bugs. And how many people the bugs ruin the game. And some stuff that I'm going to go over in my actual review of Tales of Tanorio, which should be coming up this weekend.
There was a couple of bugs that I ran into, but nothing too game breaking for me. And where the game lacks in my opinion, it's just the low amount of content the game had. It didn't even release with PvP, which in my opinion is...
Okay, this is another big issue we have to talk about. PvP in this game, at its current state, is not ready. I'm just gonna be real. There's a reason the community voted for trading versus PvP. PvP right now would be extremely stupid, and I will be coming out with tier list videos, so if you guys are interested in PvP, PvE, any of that type of stuff, subscribe to the channel, because I will be coming out with tier lists and stuff for the game and everything that you could, actually look forward to using. But for right now, PvP would be abysmal, counting on the fact that so many mods have the exact same abilities, so many of the same type is in the game, and a whole bunch of stuff that I'm going to be going over in my actual review, which is coming up this weekend, like I said. So I'm not going to go too much into it, but there's a reason the community voted for trading and not PvP, because PvP right now would be awful. And with no EV training items, which some of them have said to have been added to Ruptures, we have zero idea if that's even true at this point. It would be abysmal. I'm just going to be honest with you. The balancing for this game is going to be freaking awful. And they're going to have to do they're most likely going to do a lot of tweaking before PvP actually comes out. So, I mean, we just got to wait and see. But for right now, PvP is not it. I'm just going to say that. PvP is not going to be it.
It's the whole reason why a multiplayer creature capture game would be entertaining. PvP.
Not really. There's hunters. There's that. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit here. Yeah, we could skip to like here.
Shaky, to say the least. Now, I've seen a lot of criticisms on Twitter, on YouTube videos, and just the community in general of why people really disliked the game's release. I saw a comment from one guy, and I'm not even going to post his name or the screenshot, but he said he hopped on Tales of Tanorio, experienced about 5 minutes of straight unskippable dialogue, and all F4'd, never came back. And I'm not going to lie to you, I understand not enjoying the cutscene. The cutscenes are annoying, the unskippable dialogue is annoying, and in some cases, the voice acting definitely didn't help the fact that the dialogue was unskippable.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with this. I never realized it until probably, I don't even want to say whether this game came out, because I'd recently have been watching a couple of like Fakemon, or not really Fakemon, but I guess you could say ROM hack YouTubers and stuff like that. And one thing I've really realized about Pokemon, and the whole way that Pokemon has gone this way of not really having a story anymore, is because people don't like cutscenes. And to me, it counts. I think like games like Black and White, which this is just example for monster catching games, right? This could be in Nexomon, this could be in, even in Pal World to some extent. But just for like Pokemon standards, like I really like Black and White. I really enjoy Black and White's story. I really loved everything that had to go through it. But playing games like Sun and Moon, which is probably the most heavy-filled story game out of any Pokemon game, I didn't like the dialogue. And to be fair, when you have to force voice acting and you can't skip, because this was one of the things that also the game doesn't have for a quality of life feature, is when you have voice acting on, you have to wait for the text to finish. You can't skip text just because voice acting is on. Like, if I wanted to hear something, right, in most games, you can hear the audio, you can click the screen, it will skip the audio as well as the voice audio and just move on to the next voice line. Tales doesn't have that. If you want to listen to this game with voice acting on, you have to listen to the entire text. And that is really long. And so I just have to say, like, they definitely need to change that and make that a quality of life feature of, hey, if you have voice acting on, you could still skip the text. You just can read or hear what you want to. But generally, with how many bugs and issues that voice acting already has, I don't think that's going to be possible. So honestly, in my opinion, if you really don't like the dialogue, you don't like the cutscenes, just turn voice acting off. It is an option. It wasn't saving before. It supposedly saves now. I have zero idea if that's true, because I always play the game with voice acting on because I personally wanted to hear all the voices and stuff. But I understand, right? I understand people don't like reading or hearing dialogue for 5 minutes. You wanted to skip that shit. There is an option in the settings, and I understand why you want to do that, but this should not be a reason why you don't play the game. I'm just going to be so real. This should not be a reason why you don't play the game. It just shouldn't be like
logs, as in getting stuck in the cutscenes, so they didn't even get to experience the game.
And this wasn't a serious issue, and this is, I think, one of the reasons why maybe the game's still right now, because the game peaked out, I believe, at like, it was either 25 or 45,000 players. I think it was 25. I'm going to say it was 25. I think it was the lower side. It peaked out at 25 players, and if you guys check the game now, it has about 8 to 10k players, and this is essentially a week after launch from at the time I'm recording this video. And I do get it, right? the game had multiple soft locks. It wasn't even like it was just, oh, there was one soft lock, which was dumb as well because they delayed the game because the amount of soft locks they found, or one of the soft locks they found. And then when the game actually came out, even after bug patches and everything else, there was still like 3 or 4 soft locks that were in the game that just stopped people from playing. And I could definitely understand not wanting to come back to this game, and that's a thing. I believe most of those have been resolved now, so I do want to go ahead and give the game that benefit of the doubt that yes, this game has resolved most of those issues, hopefully. I know personally somebody had contacted me telling me about a softlock issue with the second gym, and I told them, like, just wait for it to get fixed, and luckily enough, it did end up getting fixed, so they were able to continue to play the game, and I'm very happy that they had that. But I do understand why the fact a lot of people probably won't come back to it because of the soft locked issues. They were massive, and yet again, the game-breaking bugs at launch were inexcusable for how long we had to wait for the game. But yeah.
At all. And I can imagine how frustrating that is. Imagine you actually trying to play a new game, and the game itself is actually preventing you from enjoying the games.
Exactly. And there was nothing you could do about it. It was literally the game itself was stopping you from playing, and he's talking here about Tales of Yapper. Although, I do want to talk about this for a second. Yo, the Rel brothers commenting on Tales of Tanorio. I didn't even see this. I didn't see this until this video, which was interesting. And he's like, yo, don't complain about the yapping and all that stuff or whatever. And I'm like, Rel, you need to stop, because if Rel C's comes out and it's mid or it's bad by any means, bro, you know we're going to be roasting your ass too. So it's like, come on, bro. I know he got that little thing on him. You know, he's supposed to be the GOAT. But I mean, come on, man, bro. You gotta stop with all this, bro. Talking about the yap or whatever. I get it's a meme, I get it's a joke, but come on, bro. Hey, if we hop into Rel C's and the game is ass, like, we're gonna be saying the same thing to you. So just get ready for it, bro. Yet again, comes back to the whole PvP thing, and I want to say the biggest thing about this whole PvP thing, and a lot of things about the bugs as well, is I think Ags is a casual Pokemon fan. He's not a hardcore Pokemon fan. I wouldn't call him a hardcore, not really a Pokemon fan, but I guess a monster catching fan, right? He's not a hardcore monster catching fan. He's a casual. Even if we got PvP, as soon as we get PvP, he would know how bad it would be if you just looked at the summary, the base stats, the abilities, and things for some of these mons, because they're all over the place and they're awful. He's literally using one of the best mons in the game right now. Without a shadow of a doubt, this is one of the most busted mons in the game. He gets not only Sword Stance with speed boost as a base, but Sword Stance does damage, which is insane, as well as also having like over 100 speed stat with like 115 something attack or something along those lines. He's literally one of the hardest hitting characters in the game. And yet again, I'm going to bring all of this up in my review, which is coming out this weekend. So guys, yet again, stay tuned for the review, because it's going to go over a lot. But if you use this mon, you would know how busted this mon is in the game, to the fact of where the only few walls that you have against this thing would be non-existent. And I'm telling you, with most of the abilities in the mods, like, the top tiers are the top tiers, and the low tiers are very low. And then the middle tiers are like, eh. Like, they're sometimes going to be usable, sometimes not. And this is the biggest issue that this game has, is balancing. I think you're coming from a casual effect of, oh, I want to be able to fight people, I want to be able to have PvP, until you start getting into playing it and you realize, man, I'm only fighting, like, the same team, like, over and over and over again. And there's barely any originality. And a lot of the abilities are broken, or we don't know what they do, and a lot of the items don't have descriptions, so we have absolutely no idea what the heck half the items in the game works. We have no EV and IV. Like I said, they might have just been added with this most recent update, but we still don't even know if that's true, right? So there's not even a way to make your mons perfect all the way, or if certain EV items aren't out there, you can't use specific mons. There's way too many issues going on for PvP to actually be viable right now, which I just think casual fans look at it and they're like, we should have PvP. But if you actually just looked at the backbone, looked at a lot of things, including the balance changes, especially since they boosted air types, which was stupid in my opinion, because they made Cosmic even worse. It's just like, if you actually just look in the Discord, look at the facts, look at the changes that they made over the game, as an actual competitive player, you would know that PvP in this game right now would be atrocious. And I want the mons to come out with the next gym. I want them to have balance changes right before PvP drops, and then they drop PvP. And they give us more clear descriptions, more clear items, more clear, like, actually how the game would work for a PvP setting, instead of just jumping straight into PvP and it being awful. So this is coming from a more casual perspective. I definitely see that. But like I said, I definitely think, you know, we're not going to talk too much. We're not going to talk too much about, that anyway.
PC box, or even in my party, that I'm not able to beat my friends up with. PvP is a feature that should have been there in release.
No. I just no. If you see the state of the game and you're an actual competitive player, no. Just we needed the wait. There's a reason the community voted for trading. That's definitely a take I just don't agree with. This game is not ready for PvP. I think we're done with the video. I think that's going to be essentially the video, guys. I don't think I want to talk a little bit about this or any more than this. I think this is good. I think we're going to stop it here. But yeah, I think he's spinning facts. I think Tales of Tanorio is a 7 out of 10 game. I think the game has issues, but I think everyone clearly sees the fact that the game has issues, but if you want to stick with the community, you want to stick there, I think in the long run, the game could be better. It's just a lot of the weird dev decisions that they're making right now, which I'm still going to go over all of this. I'm going to go over all the negatives and, you know, all the positives in my review coming up this weekend for the game. But that's going to be it. That's going to be it for me, guys. I can't talk anymore about this. Overall, I would say it's a W video. Just a little bit more of a casual outlook instead of a hardcore player outlook. But overall, like I said, I think it was a W video, and I gotta, give mad shoutouts to Ag. So yeah, his video will be in the description below. Hope you all really enjoyed it. Remember, guys, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to see more content just like this, and I'll see you guys on my next video. Peace!